y'all, it's your girl Chelsea Alexa. Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be back doing wig content for you guys, and today's unit is from Barry's Fashion Hair Company. I'll make sure to link that below for you guys. I do have a 13x4 24-inch curly unit today. It is transparent Swiss lace, and I'm just showing you guys the inside. It's a machine made wig, and we have 4 clips, 2 on the side, 1 in the front and 1 in the back. I'm also super excited because it's a 13x4 and it's like a full frontal lace. Sometimes they'll have like just the hairline or frontal, and on the sides there'll be tracks. So I'm glad they didn't cheat us and they gave us a full 13x4, so shout out to them for that. The knots were pretty small and easy to bleach, so that's exciting as well because I was able to bleach them at the same time I did the bleach bath. And again, that's transparent lace and that's what it looks like on my skin. So today we're going to be using Matrix Light Master and their 40 volume developer. This is not the bleach that I would use typically, but that's what I had at home and I was not able to leave my house during the filming of this video. So I'm going to use about 2.5 scoops of that. It doesn't really matter, to be honest, how many scoops you put. I just put enough as I felt like my bowl could handle. And then I'm going to match that with developer in a second. I would definitely suggest to put a lot of developer, more than usual. Usually it's like a 1-to-1 ratio. You put about as much developer as you do bleach, but in this case I would put more developer only because it makes it easier to blend with the water that you're going to use. So I just mix that until it's all a good consistency and I don't see any chunks. And it is kind of watery, like I said, more watery than I'm used to. And I'm just going to dump that in my bowl. And I got this little bin from Walmart actually. And I'm going to do the same thing. I just did a second round of that. As far as water goes, I put a little bit of warm water just from the sink, but then I also added a little bit of hot water from the kettle. I had boiled it and let it sit for like 10 minutes. I didn't mean to boil it, but time got away from me. So just let it get as hot as possible without actually boiling and then mix it with the bleach. The thing with a bleach bath is you don't need too much water. I just put enough water as I felt that would make a pool at the bottom. My goal was really to just get enough water so that when I put the wig in, the water would be able to disperse evenly, if that makes sense. The whole point of a bleach bath and using water is just so that the water can get through the hair more evenly and lift more evenly. And just mix that up really well. So then now I'm just going to go ahead and dunk that wig in, girl. Like, I'm going ham. Twisting her, spinning her, everything. Like, I'm trying to make sure every part of this wig is covered in the bleach, because honestly, if the hair is not actually sitting in the bleach, it's not going to lift as much, and then you're going to have really uneven lift. The benefit of a bleach bath is that you will get a pretty even lift as long as the hair is coated evenly. So you have to really make sure you do your part and make sure that the hair is coated. So I'm opening the hair up in the middle, making sure it's there, kind of just mushing the hair right into the bleach to make sure it's there. I kind of wanted to get my knots as well so that I can bleach it all at one time. And I do have a paddle brush and I'm brushing it through to make sure it's even further distributed, because you really want to make sure that it's even, or you're going to see it once you dry it. And even just from this brushing, I can see that it's already turning. Like, it was black when I first put it in there, but now it kind of looks brown. But the thing about lightener is that it lies, so you have to be very, very careful. Like, you're like, okay, yeah, it's turning, it's getting brown, it's going so fast, but it's not as light as you think, and I'm going to show you in a second. There's a saying in the hair world, lightener lies. Like, yeah, that looks brown, but when I move that lightener, it basically looks black again. So you want to make sure it sits as long as you need it to sit. Like, I would say get it almost lighter than what you think you need to, because when you rinse it out, it's going to be probably just what you want it to be. So I'm just sitting that wig in that bleach and like folding over the bleach into the wig to make sure that it's really saturated. And I'm going to put some foil on top just to see if it helps process, and I think it actually did help process. This is my first time ever using foil for a bleach bath, and I think I'd definitely try it again. So for the first go round, I think I let it sit for 20 minutes at first, and then this is what we had. It was definitely lifted. It was uneven, but you could see that it's lifting. It needed more time though. So I'm just brushing through again to make sure that it's evenly distributed, and that as it goes along, it'll process evenly. And then I put it back for 10 more minutes, and then this is what we had. Definitely lighter, definitely more even. but in my opinion still needed some more time. So I put it back for 5 more minutes. And when I came back, this is where we were at. To me, that looks more even. That was light enough for me, I think, to deposit the color that I actually wanted. And when I moved the bleach, it was still light, so for me, I was good. I went ahead and rinsed that with Shimmer Light's purple shampoo and no conditioner. And this is what it looks like. Definitely very bright orange. The curl pattern is still intact, which was very exciting for me because with bleach and curly hair, you really never know. And that's kind of how you can test the hair company. And so far, they passed that test. The hair looked great. I didn't really get much shedding. And the ends still looked healthy to me too. So I'm using Revlon Color Silk. I'm using 2 boxes of light brown, which is the number 51, and 1 box of dark ash blonde, which is the number 60. The package basically has a developer, which is the white, and the color, which is in the brown. You pour the brown to the white, put the cap back on, and you shake it. Very simple, that's what you do. So I had 3 of those bottles. I did that with all 3 of them, and then I put it all together in my bowl, and it was definitely about to overflow, and I mixed it together. So for this, I actually used a brush. What I did was clip up the first section of hair, and I literally just painted that hair on, or painted that color onto the hair. I'm using fairly small sections just to make sure that it's really fully saturated, and I really make sure that I'm getting the color onto the root. In the past, for whatever reason, when I've done full color like this, my roots have kind of been splotchy, so I've learned to definitely make sure to pay attention to the root and make sure you get color everywhere, and just really paint that in. I kind of comb it through. I use my the brush itself as like a comb, and I kind of rake it through the hair sometimes. I really make sure to get your ends. You could use your hands. There are so many methods you can use just to make sure that the hair is fully saturated. And I'm doing the same thing on the other side. So this is what we have so far in the back. I clipped away my frontal when I got up there that far because I want to do that separately, and this is what the back looks like. The bottom has definitely processed more than the top, so we're not done yet. So for the frontal, I'm going to apply color everywhere except at the root. I always, for whatever reason, forget to protect my lace when I apply color, so I have to end up being super careful. Definitely protect your lace and make your life easier, but since I did not, this is what I ended up doing. I just painted the color on like regular and then just ignored my root, and then I ended up going back and just paid more detail and paid more attention to the root to make sure I didn't get on the lace. I ended up using a spoolie, and I really just rolled the hair onto the hairline or the lace, or the hair by the lace actually. I have to be really careful because I didn't want to actually get it on there since I had already bleached the knots. And then I would take a brush and kind of blend it to make sure that the part where I had already colored blended in with the root of the hair. For this part, coloring the frontal, you definitely want to take smaller sections to make sure that you get every inch of the frontal and you don't miss any spots. Because if you do it small enough, when you roll the color onto the front half, it'll kind of soak through to the back half and make your life a little bit easier. This was definitely the longer part of the color application, but I think it was worth it. I'm just going to repeat the same thing on the other side. This is how it looked when I finished one side. Clearly not done processing. You can see the difference. And then this is how it looked after I had just completed both sides. And this is how it looked right before I was ready to rinse it out. So I ended up rinsing it out with a Pureology sample that I got from the hair store and the conditioner that I use on my real hair, Design Essentials Almond Butter. So this is what it looks like freshly washed. And get ready for the after, because bleach lies, but so does wet hair. And there we go. Super gingery, super coppery for fall. You feel me? You feel me? The color is super even. That's why I really love the bleach bath method, because it makes the color so even without you having to do much work. And this is it from the front. I am going to go over styling in my next video. I'm going to show you guys how I styled and how I installed this unit. So it's going to look better, I promise. It's not really done. It's just like slightly done for camera. But in my next video, I'm going to install and style. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for being here. Later!